What is up, everybody? Back again. Sunday night, you know what that means. And we're finally coming up on the best time of the year. Football season is back. Even though it is just preseason right now, it's football, and that's what I care about. So this episode is gonna be very football heavy, obviously, because I'm excited. So going through here, I know scores don't matter, so I'm not really going to go through the score because it's preseason. But Chargers, Cardinals. So Chargers trying to find out who's going to be the backup behind Phillip Rivers. It's between Geno Smith, which I don't even remember him going to the Chargers, but it happened. So it's between Geno Smith and Cardale Jones. I believe right now Cardale Jones has the upper hand because he's been in the system longer than Geno Smith has. Geno's only been there for this offseason. Cardale's been there at least a full year. He's got the upper hand. Geno Smith looking strong, though. He went 14 of 23 for 218 yards in this game and a touchdown to Jeremy Davis. Yeah, Cardale Jones went 6 for 12 for 50 yards and no TDs. So he didn't look as good, but he got less reps than the only sport you do is fish. What do you fish for? Cardale Jones is alive. He's just kind of hidden away in the second and third string lines. Anything that bites. What do you like to eat fish-wise? Like what you catch and take home? Yeah, dude, Andrew Luck's shoulder is apparently working. So far, so good, at least. Trout, it's a good one. Any advice for Mike Trout is a beast. Any advice for crappie fishing? I've got crappie in my pond, but they're a pain in the butt to try and catch. I don't know why. They just are. They'll hide in one little area, and sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't. I like catching them. Yeah, I was kind of going through these games, so I was gonna, give little updates here and there on people. So for the Washington Redskins, rookie running back Darius Geis tore his ACL. He didn't even get to play in the preseason game. It was like the day before in practice. So that really sucks to be him. Really, why is that? Most people would be saying the other way around. We'll take him on a fishing trip. So anywho, Cardinals got their rookie. How's Packers looking? So Aaron's pissed off at all the young receivers because they're not performing as well as he has hoped. But they looked solid so far. Yeah. So they do this drill. Well, it's more like a classroom drill where he'll like hold up like the signal that he'll yell out for a specific route, and they all have to hold up like what the route is, something similar to that. No, he's not on his way out. And he said that's like the worst, thing or worst group that he's ever had do that because they were just kind of like farting around, didn't really care. So yeah, he went off on him a little bit, which is needed. These rookies, I'm sure some of them, it's not what a leader does. That's not what a leader does. Look at Tom Brady yelling at his coaches on the sideline. And Aaron can't get on his young receivers for trying to learn better. Oh, because that's the first time somebody's called somebody out in an interview. Look at Kelvin Benjamin just saying that if he had a more accurate quarterback in Carolina. Yeah, and somebody was going to get it eventually. Why not just go straight to the source? Be like, hey, so they pissed me off the other day. So, same thing, just not on the same team. Hey, what up, Want Bag Doodle? Yeah, it does. And of course, after week one, everybody's got to give their Super Bowl predictions because you got to think, after one game, everything's completely different. Yes, that sounds like a very, very good trade. Rodgers to the Giants for a seventh round draft pick. Yeah. Oh, a conditional pick. Okay. Deal. Is fishing really a sport? I mean, they do have competitive fishing, so people will make it a sport. I don't really know how, because like you can fish for the big fish all you want, but if you might catch one, but it's not going to be as big as it could. I don't know. Like there's so many variables in it. It's like, yeah, well, I used this kind of bait and I fished in this area, but this fish was caught in this area. I don't know. It's luck, I guess. See what happens when Andrew Luck takes a shot to the shoulder. That's when you'll be wanting to see what happens there. Well, yeah, when you go like a year and a half and you can't even do what your job is, which is to throw a ball, I mean, what are you really going to do? Just keep saying, like, I'll come back. I'll come back. Just give me time. Like, you can only do that for so long and then that's done. But just wait and see. Yeah, Glenn. He'll pop in eventually. Yeah, just wait and see what happens when Luck gets either driven into the ground on that shoulder or gets a helmet like right into it. We'll see if he if it stays up. Oof. It's gonna implode. Possible. About the Houston Texans, dude, they got a huge upside. They obviously were looking real good last year, then lost a couple of their big players, Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, easy ones. But now with both of them back, excuse me, getting both of them back and adding a good safety like Tyron Matthew, and they've already got a pretty stacked receiving core with Hopkins, Fuller, and Miller. I think the Texans will be pretty good. Sam Darnold looked impressive. Yeah, he looked all right. I mean, it is preseason, so you gotta take it with a little bit of grain of salt. Miami front line needs help. Miami's not the only team that needs help. I mean, if you would have seen Josh Rosen out there with the Cardinals, dude was getting pressured like every play. What's up, Glenn? Yeah, I hope there's less talk about the kneeling thing because it's really annoying. Like I don't even care anymore. I hope so. He said he would come back. He still hasn't yet. So looked good, did he? I didn't get to see the Colts. Any surprise? I mean, I think the only surprise that people are going to see is the Browns winning more than like 4 games. I think that's going to be one thing that people are going to freak out about is when the Browns, actually like beat somebody decent. They almost beat the Steelers twice last year, and the Steelers were the number 2 seed in the AFC. So it could happen. Browns beat the Steelers, the world will freak out. Yeah, Browns will win like 5, maybe 6 games. Have I played the new Madden? Yeah, dude, I pre-ordered it. It's the only game I've ever pre-ordered. Yeah, I think that's about the only thing that anybody's going to be really shook about is the Browns actually winning games. I'm sorry, I missed your other comment or question. I mean, I was commenting and didn't quite get to it. Did I ignore me? Oh, that's right, the helmet thing. Yeah, so that's going to cause a lot of unnecessary penalties. Because I was looking at one earlier from the Chargers Cardinals game, and the dude hit his face mask like right on the shoulder, but he kind of like like leaned his head down a little bit, and they called it a penalty, like that penalty, even though it was just a good like sticking the dude right then and there. Like there's gonna be a lot of those dumb penalties now, and it's gonna be really annoying. Rodgers to the Giants, no, get out of here with that. Like I get where the league is coming from. Josh Gordon is away from the team. Yeah, so he said it was for like his own personal reasons of like trying to stay healthy and like in shape or whatever, which I don't know why he wouldn't want to be with his team to do that. I don't know. Maybe being around his teammates makes him want to smoke weed. He's not trying to do that. I don't know. Yeah. Favorite NFL team? Packers. Yeah, I understand the helmet rule, like what they're going for there, but it's going to cause a lot of issues. It's probably going to cause more issues than it's preventing. Like I think they said they can review those penalties, and if it seems like malicious, they might eject that player. And when they looked at like 1,000 plays last year, only 3 of them were worthy of ejection. So it's like these guys aren't trying to straight up like spear somebody with their head. Yeah, Josh Gordon probably is. I mean, if the dude can just stay off the weed and get with his team, he's going to be real good. Andrew Luck needs to do a better job of avoiding kill shots. Yeah. Well, Andrew Luck's offensive line's not that great either. All 3 of them probably were perfect. That dude does go for people. He's not the only one that goes for people like that, but he is like known for it. One of them. I think the Eagles going deep in the playoffs again. Oh, I'm sure they'll probably get first or second seed in the NFC and get that first round bye. So they'll already be in the divisional round, and then it's just one more game, and they'll be in the championship series again. So it's possible they very well could even go to the Super Bowl again. Who knows? They didn't really lose a whole lot of people. Giants are not winning at all, not yet. What about Roethlisberger? What about him? Is there something that happened, or just thoughts? Barkley looked good on that first carry, though. The slight hesitation in the hole, cutting it outside, then just straight speed down the sideline. It was good. It's a good running back. I mean, if Tom Brady's going to play until he's like dead on the field, Roethlisberger can play as long as he wants. At least Roethlisberger is kind of like, he knows it's coming up soon. He just isn't exactly sure when he's going to be done. Brady's like, I'm playing forever. Got this new diet. I'll feel like I'm 25 when I'm 80. So Roethlisberger has a couple years and then he's done. He was actually praising Mason Rudolph in his preseason action the other day. Who the dude that took out Rodgers? What, last year from the Vikings? Anthony Barr? Oh, yeah, when they drafted Mason Rudolph, Ben Roethlisberger was kind of salty about it, and he's like, I don't know why we're wasting draft picks on a quarterback. Like, I'm here. Landry Jones is here. We got a good backup. Now we got Josh Dobbs. Why use another one? So I don't know. I was kind of questioning on why they did that as well because they do have Landry Jones, but I feel like they're going to let him go after this next contract, or maybe only sign him for like a 1-2 year deal. Then after that, they've got Joshua Dobbs, who has really good talent. He looked decent in the preseason action he had the other night. So who knows? Steelers have options for once Ben leaves. Maybe that's what they're trying to do is get a couple guys because I feel like Landry Jones is going to leave eventually, like here soon, and then they'll have Dobbs and Rudolph to be the two guys that can like compete for that starting role. You know, Glenn, I have never played Ultimate Team, and because I pre-ordered it, I got like some card packs and stuff. So I'm like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. It's kind of fun. I mean, my starting quarterback's Aaron Rodgers. I've got Patrick Mahomes as a backup with Ben Roethlisberger as a third stringer. Got T.O., Brian Urlacher, Rod Woodson. Like, it's fun to just make this weird ass team and go. This year, the Super Bowl is solely up in the air. Yeah, kind of. I mean, on the AFC side, there's literally like 2-3 teams that are going to be there: Patriots, Steelers, Jags. Aside from that, it's really questionable. NFC, it's questionable all around. Saints, Eagles, Packers. A lot of people want to say the Niners. I don't think they're quite there yet. The Rams are going to be good. Again, will they take that step to go deeper into the playoffs? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how the regular season goes for them. Hopefully, it's just the NFL trying to enforce the rule in the preseason. By the time it's regular season, common sense. You would think so. Hopefully, like you said, the preseason they're using is like an example. Like, hey, be careful because we will call it. And then, like, once the season comes, you'll probably have guys that are like, oh crap, and then they're like, no, you're good. Yeah, I don't know what the phenomenon is for Jimmy Garoppolo, but 5 games at the end of a season with a terrible team is apparently enough to get you skyrocketed to like the top 5 of the NFL. Rules put more pressure on the officials as well. Too many rules. They don't know. Well, especially because the league just had 3 officials, like referees, retire. So they got to train these new guys to be able to call things now. And if they don't know what the heck they're calling, it's going to be difficult. See, once we get into football time, we can have all kinds of conversation. Who one team will make the playoffs? Nobody will see it come in the next 2 years. In the next 2 years? I want to say the Niners because I feel like they are going to miss it this year, and then next year it's going to be questionable, but then they'll probably make it the year after that. Referees use the card to measure. I mean, apparently, let's go for it. Yes, I am excited for the XFL. I hope it comes soon because I want to see how that's going to go. Kaepernick, I don't know. True. The Kaepernick situation's weird because it's like not only do you have all the political crap behind him, but you have the inconsistency of like he was really good for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then he was like kind of crappy. And I think the Niners were gonna like be like, okay, dude, you got to do something. Or you're getting out, anyways. It wasn't entirely based on the whole kneeling thing because I mean, look how crappy he was playing even when he did get put in that year. Because he got benched and he got put in, and he was like, eh. No, I know. There's plenty of guys. Like he should be a backup somewhere. He does have enough talent to be a backup at least, but people just don't want all that nonsense behind him now. He put a target on himself for going for that, and now everybody else threw it out there too. Where's Osweiler? Dude, that's a good question. I don't even know. He might just be a free agent floating around. Oh, he's with the Dolphins. That's right. That's personal opinion. I don't really know him. Hate him for breaking up the Niners. Yeah, I mean the Niners had a really good team, and then it was like all the kneeling stuff and everybody, and then Harbaugh left. How old am I? 22. Dude, I know football real well. Thank you. I try. That's why I'm here, trying to get it out there so I can be on like ESPN or something one day. I never heard that, but it is possible. Yeah, because like I was saying, earlier, yeah, that is what I'm going to college for. I'm the sports guy at our university's news or TV news broadcast, whatever you want to call it. What was I going to say now? Oh, yeah, like I can talk to all the other sports, but I don't get as much into it as I do like the NFL. Like football is my sport. Like we can talk basketball, we can talk hockey, we can talk baseball, but it's not going to get as in depth as it does here. Oh yeah, is that a good thing? There's a lot of things that can destroy a team chemistry, and that was definitely one of them. You could have that one bad player that just ruins everybody, and it'll destroy an entire team. What's up? How's it going? I cannot. I'm sorry. Oh, not even 5 years sometimes. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be exciting for the Giants to see what they do with Saquon. I mean, just after that first run in that preseason game, everybody's high on him, so he's putting a spotlight on himself. Do I love Trump? No. I'm not like against him though. My team, Packers. Yeah, but it's not even 5 years sometimes. Like they'll play like 2 seasons and then trade them off. Is that liquor behind me? Yeah, right there. That's empty. That's empty. That one's not. How many games are in London? I think there's like four. The world's problem. I don't know how the rest of the world feels about it because I don't like politics at all. Like some of the things he's doing is perfectly fine, I think, but then other things, it's like, really, why? Like I'm not against him, but I'm not like die hard for him. Why not one in Australia? So, well, thank you. I appreciate the non hate. Most of the time I say something about the Packers, it's like, ugh, why? So why not Australia? Well, okay, so they used to play games like preseason games in Japan. Players hated it because all the travel going over there and then having to come back, it really messed with them and it messed with their schedules of training camp. So just shooting 6 hours over to London and 6 hours back apparently doesn't bother them. But going however many hours over, because it takes like 4 hours, I think. I don't even know exactly. Let's see. I was gonna say I think it's like 4 hours from like California to Hawaii. So let's see. This isn't actually giving me like a time, but it ain't as bad. Australia is like 24 hours away. Okay, so to go from San Francisco to Brisbane, it's 17 hours. That is an awful flight. That's terrible. Is that a direct flight? Yeah, that's not much. Okay. Yeah, for them to go to from like San Francisco to like Tokyo, which they probably went from Seattle to Tokyo, but still, that takes 11 hours. Yeah, apparently half a day, over half a day is not too much to Glenn. He'll just fly 17 hours, no problem. These countries need to create their own league. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. Right. So, like some countries have done that. Will soccer ever get as big as the NFL in the USA? No, because not enough people care. What's going on, Jake? How's it going, dude? So like Germany did have their own league for a little bit. It was in like the mid 2000s Madden games. They were terrible. It's a land from down under. Yes. So yeah, that league was terrible. There was also the NFL Europe League, and it was just nobody cared. But now like football is becoming bigger around the world, so if they tried it again, it might work better. But when they tried it, it was like late 90s, early 2000s, and I don't think anybody really cared that much. It was that and like the German league, and I don't know if anybody else really did it and start a league in Australia. Dude, do it. Really, I didn't see it. I saw you like kept posting on here on Periscope that it was your birthday, but I never saw on Facebook or anything. I was busy that day. I was gonna say happy birthday. I'm sorry. So happy belated birthday. I think the XFL is gonna do great, dude. I hope so. Second time around, it could be huge. Fit a lot of the holes the NFL has. Yeah, possibly. We'll just have to see because like the big factor of the XFL failing last time was the quality of play. The players were terrible. Like you get a flash here and there of like a guy that wasn't that bad, and he would play okay. And it was like those guys that were like on the cusp of making an NFL team, but then didn't quite make it that were good. And then what was it like? Tommy Maddox, I think, was like one of the quarterbacks. So he was good, obviously, because he was a former NFL quarterback. Right. And like one of the big things though they said that in like the E60 about the XFL was like the locations of where they were at because apparently the Vegas team was huge. Like everybody in Vegas loved it because there was a guy on that was like, you know, it was so good to have something here in Vegas. Like we got to have a football team. It was so good. And now I don't have that anymore. I have nothing. I hate it. Yeah, another he hate me. He hate me. See, love for he hate me. Dude was pretty good. Yeah, Tommy Maddox was the MVP. Yeah, he won a ring sitting on the bench. Yeah, but I mean, you can't really just copy what everybody else has. Plus, it's like it's a new team, so it's like, hey, look at these jerseys. Here's an idea. Yeah, and see now the Raiders are going to Vegas, so that kind of like makes it. Oh, the names on the jerseys. Yeah, I mean it was a good time. The MLB's doing it now, so like it'll probably be a matter of time. The NFL or the NBA did it that one time, with the Heat where it was like King James and Jesus Shuttlesworth and whatever Dwayne Wade was. So like it's out there. It'll probably come to the NFL eventually. They just got to complain enough. Oh, I know. I mean that's all the MLB's doing it for. They say it's the players weekend, but it's just so they can have a different jersey out there for people to buy. I saw the White Sox ones this year and I'm like, ooh, kind of want to get one. It looks kind of cool. No shot. NFL doesn't like individuality. True. But when they started doing like the My Cleats, My Cause thing, they could possibly do it during that week. Yeah, I know. The NFL is really strict on their uniform policies. Like, most people don't know that, like, right now, the NFL has a rule that you have to have one set helmet that you wear the entire year. That's why the Redskins, like throwbacks, looked terrible last year because they had like their current helmet with their like old darker maroon jerseys on that like look much better when they have the darker maroon helmets with just like the spear on the side. Oh yeah, the NFL is all about the league being, like overlord, and now the players are starting to speak out on things. They're like, ugh. Yeah, same with the Rams too. Like they changed their helmet, but like uh, because I think because it's a sticker that the Rams put on there, like with the horns, that's why they can do the yellow helmet or like the yellow horns for their throwbacks. Whereas um, like the Patriots, if they were to do the different one, it's a different color. The Packers, different color for like the brown helmets. Why Juju's celebrating in the preseason? Because Juju's young and immature, and he's going to do whatever he wants. That's because they're not allowed to change jerseys for X amount of years. True. But, like I like having throwback, uniforms every now and then. It's nice. And then like I think with the Chargers too, when they wear like their what are those called? The Color Rush jerseys. I think they put a different lightning bolt sticker on there, but because the helmet's the same color. Oh yeah, that's stupid. But that's their uniform policy. The Maryland thing. So I haven't seen a whole lot about that because I've been really busy the past like 2 days. But it's something about like the head coach is on administrative leave right now because he's like they're investigating that what is it, like a coordinator or something got killed. That's why the NFL would never let players wear nicknames. Yeah, but like that's not a thing that's as big because it's not changing the color of anything. It's just, hey, we got to make new jerseys for a week, and even that, like, they can make a lot of money off that. So who knows? They'll probably think about it. They're probably seeing how it goes over in the MLB, and then they'll think about it. Or Roger will just be like, nope, just to piss off fans, just for fun. It did get quiet in here. That's why I was just about to bring up. There's a bunch of injuries right now, so I was going to go through all those and say, give my take on how significant they might be if I can find where that article was. Oh, there it is. Robert Davis went down. There's a lot of people that have gone down. Okay. So it starts off with the Redskins. Obviously, Redskins should sign Dez. Maybe. He apparently is visiting with the Browns because the Browns have been talking to him, like, or trying to talk to him, and he's supposedly been ignoring them, even though he's like, I'm going for a visit. So we'll see. He might get signed soon. All these injuries and stuff, it's possible. And Antonio Brown, he was trying to get him to go to Pittsburgh, so that's possible too. So obviously, Redskins, Darius Geis, torn ACL, out for the season. Pittsburgh Steelers, Antonio Brown has a right hip and quad strain. That won't be a big deal. They're going to hold him out of, uh, preseason games and maybe a couple practices, but that's just precautionary. He'll be fine. Doug Baldwin's got a knee injury. Pete Carroll said he doesn't care because it's not that big of a deal. You heard about that fan that just he tried to like get into like DB drills or something. That was hilarious. I love it when people do that. Like there was a guy in this NBA season. He got like I don't remember what team it was. He got like all the warm up gear. He just like walked out there. He was like, "Yo, bro, give me the ball," and he took a shot. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's like there's certain players that shouldn't even need to play. Tried lining up against the Browns. Yeah, certain players like don't even really need to play in the preseason. Like if you've been a starter there for several years, like Brady, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, J.J. Watt, like big name guys that have been there for a while. They're not going to be leaving or being doing dumb stuff. They don't really need to play in the preseason. Niners tight end George Kittle separated his shoulder, as did Matt Breida. Khalil Mack, is he gone or what? Don't know yet. He's still holding out. Apparently, the Raiders are trying to negotiate something with him. Doesn't seem to be going very well right now. It is possible he could get traded. I know the Packers are interested, and I think the Jets were listed as like the top prospect to get him because they have enough like cap space and tradability with players and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Khalil Mack. He could possibly get traded elsewhere. But then you're going to go through the whole thing of, well, he's got 1 year left on his contract. Do you end up signing him again? Or does he become a free agent afterwards and he goes and signs wherever he wants? Because do you really think he wants to stay in New York and play with the Jets for more than a season, if even a one season? If he gets traded, he has no choice. But, yeah. Also for the Niners, Solomon Thomas has a concussion. Malcolm Smith has a hamstring issue. Jerick McKinnon has a knee injury that turned out to not be as bad as they thought. I don't think he cares. He just wants to get paid. That's a lot of people in the league now. They don't care about playing. They just want the money. Yeah, I'm going to keep KO here soon, too. I've been up way too long. I haven't got much sleep. I'm tired. Have a good one, dude. Come back next week. Let's see here. Eagles, Nick Foles has spasms in his neck and trapezius area. Dallas Goedert has a upper body injury. It hasn't been reported exactly what it is. Same thing with Nelson Aguilar. He has an undisclosed injury. I thought I saw it was like his ankle or his knee, but it wasn't a big deal. Running back Donnell Pumphrey has a lower body injury. He probably rolled his ankle or something. Ravens tight end Max Williams has an ankle injury. He's day-to-day. It's nothing serious. Vikings guard Nick Easton, guard Mike Remmers, and center Pat Elflein. Their O-line's a little messed up right now. Nick Easton, he's getting put on IR, so he's going to be out for a while. Neck injuries aren't something you mess with, so that one's a simple one. Elflein with his shoulder and ankle should be fine, as well as Remmers, so not a big deal. Colts, Anthony Costanzo, hamstring. He'll be back soon, no problem. Marlon Mack, that's kind of a bad one because it's bad, but it's good because Marlon Mack is going to be their starting running back more than likely, and under him, there's a bunch of guys that don't know what they're doing. So it's giving new guys reps while he recovers to be the starter, but it also puts competition out there because Marlon Mack's only been there for a year. This is his second year. He doesn't know everything to a point right now, especially with the new head coach. He might be changing some things up. So not only is he like almost for sure going to make the roster, but he's going to have some competition there for the starting running back job until he comes back. Raiders corner Garion Conley has a hip strain. Shouldn't be too bad. He'll be back soon. Defensive end Arden Key has an ankle injury. It's nothing too crazy. Chargers, everybody already knows Jason Verrett tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. Defensive end Joey Bosa has a foot issue, but he should be coming back here in a couple days. It's nothing serious. The Packers have all kinds of injuries right now. Most of them are Dolphins lost the linebacker. Yeah, it'll probably come up here in a minute. Oh, geez. Drama. Sorry. Anywho, Packers got a lot of injuries right now, but most of them are insignificant. The only big one really that's happened is Jake Ryan tearing his ACL and being out for the season. So that sucks. That's a loss of starter. Oren Burks gets an opportunity to be that starter now, though. They really should go after, I think it was Navarro Bowman that they were a bunch of people, Packers like Twitter was saying that they should go for, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Sign him for cheap for a year. let him teach Oren Burks a little bit. Then Jake Ryan will come back. Yeah, like Randall Cobb, Nick Perry, Aaron Jones, Jair Alexander, Kevin King, and Jimmy Graham. All their injuries are kind of like, eh. Michael. Oh, is that the linebacker for the Dolphins? Yeah. For the Bucks, defensive tackle Vita Vea. That sucks for him because he's a rookie. He's trying to fight for like a starting role. He got a strained calf. Shouldn't be too bad, but he'll be fine for the regular season. You think? Vernon Hargraves pulled his groin. He should be okay. He might miss a preseason game or two. Giannis projected stats: 30 points per game, basically 12 rebounds per game, 15. That's not bad. I don't think they'll be quite that high. They'll probably be just a smidge under, but it's not far off. Giannis is easily a top 5 player in the East now, if not, like top 3. Out of the East, I'd probably have like Kyrie Irving number 1. Yeah, I'd probably say Giannis 2. Number 1 player in the East, without a doubt. I mean, the dude's really good, so having him anywhere at the top is worthy. True, but Kyrie usually can't stay healthy for more than like 3/4 of a season. Kawhi is the most overrated player. I think so too. That's why I didn't even mention Kawhi when I was talking about the top like 5. Dude's good, no doubt, but he's not top tier really, especially when you're hurt and sitting out because you feel like it. Chances of the Astros repeating, I'd say pretty good. They're still pretty dang good. Like most of the time after a team wins the World Series, they lose a bunch of guys to free agency or trades. Astros didn't lose a ton of guys. The only thing they're having a couple issues with here and there are some injuries, but that's every team. So Astros have a real good shot at repeating. Their pitching rotation is really nasty right now. Yeah, his career stats are already far superior to Kawhi. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, when you sit out a whole year because of an injury and because you're a big baby, then ever watch soccer? It's not my thing. I watched a couple of games of the World Cup, but aside from that, I don't like normally seek it out. Oh yeah, Giannis is going to have a much better overall career. Lakers make it to the finals, not this year or next year. I don't even want to say the year after, like maybe like 3 or 4, or maybe like 4 years from now. And that's, of course, like if the Warriors don't re-sign certain guys. LeBron's good, but he struggled to. The Warriors should have won that series in 2016. Yeah, LeBron doesn't change the fact that they're a crappy team. Like they're not that great overall. He is just bringing in more ticket sales and more notoriety. They're just bringing in more money by signing him. They're going to be much better, and they're going to be in the playoffs, but they got to go through Houston and Golden State, and I don't see them with LeBron alone blowing through them. Like, yeah, LeBron took a terrible Cavs team to the Astros got swept. Yeah, LeBron took a terrible Cavs team to the finals and then got swept. So he can possibly get you there, but like playing against the teams that beat the crap out of him, no. Celtics only team in the East that may beat any team in the West. Them or the Sixers, I would say. Any team. Sixers have a less of a chance, but they could do it. And I'm sorry I missed that question about that last question there about LeBron. It faded too soon. Thoughts on the Houston Texans? So they're really good. They got a lot of upside. They got injured players coming back, like Deshaun Watson, obviously, and J.J. Watt. Those two guys were key players that they were missing last season. Now that they have them back, not only do they have some star players there, they've still got star wide receivers with DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and Braxton Miller. They'll be dangerous. Running back situation's pretty good with Dante Foreman and Lamar Miller. So they're solid. And then they added a good safety in Tyrann Mathieu. So Texans are going to be tough this year. It is a weak division, but they're still in the same division as the Jaguars, who have that outstanding defense. Not only do they have that outstanding defense, but they're saying that Blake Bortles is better, a little bit better now. So they're hoping that they're going to have some big things from him. Even without him, they still made it to the AFC Championship, or like even with like a crappy version of him, they still made it to the AFC Championship game. They've got Leonard Fournette. They'll be able to, run over a couple teams. The Titans are improving as well, so that division's on the rise. The Colts, now that Andrew Luck is back, that automatically would put them up to at least 6 wins. You would think. Depends if his shoulder holds up the whole time. We'll have to see, because I think once he takes a real good shot into the shoulder or gets driven into the ground, that might mess him up a little bit. We'll have to see how well his surgery is, because he was having a hard time coming back. Hello. Yeah, full season with Deshaun Watson should be fun. And I'm sorry I missed several of those comments there while I was explaining other things. So if you could repeat it, it would be great. Bien, me too. You're pushing my Spanish now after that. Did see a comment about Lamar Miller not leaving. Okay. Luck and Tannehill are both back. Who lasts longer in the league? I almost want to say Tannehill, because I think he'll get booted from Miami here soon, like in a year or two, if he doesn't improve. And he'll at least be a backup around the league. People are like, Andrew Luck's not going to want to sign to be a backup anywhere. And like, if his shoulder can't hold up, he's not going to be playing. Nobody's going to want to deal with that. Did I see the Cubs Grand Slam? I heard about it. I didn't watch it. I'm not a Cubs fan, and Cubs fans drive me nuts for the most part, especially ones that became fans in 2015. There's a lot in this area because I'm in Illinois. But I did see a comment about Lamar Miller leaving Miami to go for all the money in Houston. That seemed like a really bad problem, or that a really bad thing at first, because he sucked at Houston in his first year, and now he's picked up and it's turning into a better thing. He's on a much better team. So you think Gase made a big change on Tannehill 2 years ago? Not entirely. How am I a bus stop? Not. There's a bus stop outside my apartment complex. Not entirely. I think, where's my co-host? Dude, they always bail on me. Nobody can keep up. Apparently it goes too late. But I think Adam Gase made an impact on Tannehill. He's still getting better, but it's partly his own deal. Like, if he chooses to not put in enough work to be better, then he's not going to get any better. They were saying, I don't even know who that is. And yeah, I know they are. There was a thing that Ryan Tannehill told Kalen Ballage, rookie running back for the Dolphins, to get the hell out of the huddle, because he messed up on the play before and he would have got sacked, or he did get sacked because he missed a blocking assignment. And Adam Gase said that's a step up in his leadership. So it seems like he might be taking baby steps. That ACL, I think, set him back. But now that he's back and still playing, or now starting to play, the game might come along with it. He's had time to sit down and think about it. So who knows? We'll have to see. And I don't have TV, so I don't get to watch ESPN much. Top 4 NFL teams to beat. Eagles, Packers, Jags, Patriots. Should do a betting pool this season. Why? Just because sports betting is legal now doesn't mean we have to do it. Impact for Jimmy GB for the Niners. So definitely they're thinking franchise QB with him. If that comes into fruition, we'll have to see because he has very limited play time, I guess you could say. He hasn't played a whole hell of a lot yet. He's got 2 games with the Patriots and 5 games with the Niners. In those 5 games, it was the end of the season where the Niners were trash and nobody really cared, but he played well enough to get them to 5 wins against teams. There was like one good team in that. Isn't he the one dating a porn star? He went on a date with her. It's not official if they're dating yet, I don't think. No, it's not Aaron Rodgers last year. He's going to get a new deal. He's not really worried about it. But I say the Packers because they got a new defensive coordinator. Mike Pettin has not had less than a top 10 defense in his entire NFL tenure. So if they can improve that defense, they've got pieces on that offense for sure. Aside from Aaron Rodgers, they picked up Jimmy Graham and Mercedes Lewis. They're going to start having a run game now. They got Philbin back as offensive coordinator, and when they had him, they won a Super Bowl. They had a 15-1 season, so they'll be firing on offense for sure. That defense is the only question, and they picked up some good pieces, like Jair Alexander and Josh Jackson in the draft, as well as Muhammad Wilkerson, re-signing Tremont Williams. Yeah, Phil did nothing for Miami. He didn't really do much down there. It's kind of a waste of time. A little quiet here. Start betting pool each game. I'll make it more fun. How are we supposed to do that, though? Is everybody just going to mail money to me? Money in checks? Sucks Tony passed away. Yeah, that was sad to hear. I honestly thought he was a pretty good coach for the Dolphins, and I was kind of mad when they let him go. How about the LA teams? Jared Goff's now entering his peak. The Rams will be huge. Yeah, so Jared Goff is getting up to where he's going to be at his best game right now. They picked up another weapon in Brandon Cooks, picked up some good defensive help. So the Rams will still be dangerous this year. Their offense is still going to be potent, like we already know it is, with Todd Gurley out of the backfield. Then you got Robert Woods and what's his nuts? I just said Brandon Cooks, wide receivers on the outside, as well as Tyler Higbee and was it Garrett Everett at tight end. So they've got weapons for sure. Defense, they've got that stacked front line. They just need to get Aaron Donald back for sure. That secondary is scary. So Rams will be big. I think they're going to Rams run the LA Chargers back to San Diego. The Chargers should have never left San Diego, in all honesty. It was a dumb move. It was just for money. The Rams are definitely going to be the best team in LA for a couple years, football-wise. Chargers should have moved to St. Louis. Ew, the St. Louis Chargers? No. You know, it's weird that St. Louis had a team that was in the West Division, but whatever. It was kind of cool because that gave another close place for me to go to watch Green Bay whenever they played there. What about LeBron with the Lakers? So we were talking about that a little bit earlier because somebody asked if he would get them to the finals, and I don't think so because he's got to go through Houston and Golden State, both teams that have beat him fairly easily recently. He took a crappy Cavs team to the finals, yes, then got swept. Honestly, I think that Cavs team might be a little bit better than the Lakers team he has right now. He's going to get them to the playoffs for sure, but once he runs into either Houston or Golden State, that's probably the end of the road. Oh, I'm sure St. Louis is trying to get something in there. That stadium's just chilling, doing nothing, so might as well. They have concerts every now and then, and I think conventions. But they need like a sports team in there, like what it's built for. Yeah. I haven't been blocking them this time around because they're recycling the questions if I miss them. So It depends what you want to know about the NHL. I was a lot better at that like 2 years ago. Since the Blackhawks have been really bad, I haven't been following as closely as I was. Um, Once the playoffs start, though, I'm usually all in for the playoffs because the playoff hockey is a much different experience than regular season hockey. And I was all for Vegas this year. I said at the beginning of the year, I'm like, dude, I want Vegas to go all the way. Almost did. Melo can retire so we can get an amen. What's funny is he was literally on the Hawks roster for like half a day before they waived him, and they still got a jersey made for him and like sent it to him. Panthers coach took Vegas' to Stanley Cup first year. It was crazy. Yeah, but that just shows you how much talent is in what's the Kevin Durant in the mid 2000s. But that just shows you how good the talent in hockey is right now. That you can have an expansion draft and just pick like not necessarily the best, but not necessarily the worst players of all these different teams and make it to the Stanley Cup in a year. Like for an expansion team, they were fantastic. Buying a LeBron shirt, way to jump on the bandwagon. Why don't you go buy a Kyle Kuzma shirt or a Lonzo Ball? Be a big baller. NHL talent is hot, and yet the NHL didn't release them to the Olympics this year. Yeah, the whole Olympics thing is weird. I don't really understand it, but Lakers top 4 team in West, easy. Only because of LeBron. Only reason why. You take LeBron off that team, and they're no, no, no. What about the Browns? We hit on them a little bit earlier, so they're definitely going to surprise some people by winning more than like 4 games this year. I could see them winning up to 6, and that's going to blow people's mind because they've won a combined like 2 games the past 3 years. So, Dad has the most yellow teeth I've ever seen. It looks like he used to spray butter his toothpaste. There was something the other day that said it was a joke about him and not having a dentist, or his dentist was, I don't remember, but it was funny. Dude does have some crazy yellow teeth though. Dude's just wild in general. People making comments about that. He's probably gonna come out with like big baller brand toothpaste. Be like, this is for big ballers, trust me. And then like he'll go to some like place where they whiten his teeth, and then he'll be like, "See, big ballers using this toothpaste. Your teeth will go from nasty to white." Ugh. The amount of sleep I've gotten in the past like 2 days is not enough. Yeah, quiet again, people. Gotta watch out if I sit courtside Lakers game. I don't want to sit by his dad. Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be entertaining for sure, but be annoying. I think we'll win World Series. So Red Sox are looking real good, but I think they'll probably fall apart in the playoffs. Astros have a very good shot for EP because they haven't lost a whole lot of talent, and their starting pitching rotation is pretty dang good. Um, Yankees have a shot. You scope Dolphin games. Well, if you follow me, we can discuss those Dolphin games every Sundays. A's or Yankees. I don't think the A's are going to be good enough though to get there. Like they started off the season so bad, but they've come back enough that I think they'll probably be in contention for a wild card. I don't know about all right, I'll follow you back. Bootleg Dolphin games, yeah. It's the best kind of Dolphin games. Come on. Ooh, gosh. I have to end this soon so I can go to bed. Dying over here. I gotta get up at like 7:45. Ugh. I think the Yankees will win. I mean, they got a shot. They're playing real good. They got a dang good pitching rotation right now. I entirely forgot that I got this water out and I haven't even touched it. Yankees, Dodgers. I don't know. The Dodgers aren't looking too great right now. All right. Thank you for joining us. I'm here every Sunday for the most part. So come back and we can chit chat some more sometime. Have a good one. The Dodgers right now, I don't know because why is everyone leaving, dude? I don't know, but I'm about to pass out here soon, anyways. But Dodgers, I don't know because their pitching has been questionable. Kershaw's been hurt a lot this year, and now Kenley Jansen's out with like a heart issue. So why don't you bake me some cookies? I could go for some cookies right now. So I don't have to be your boyfriend for you to make cookies for me. It's just a kind gesture to a person that you speak sports with. Yeah. I've been leaving them in on this one just because for a while there we had pretty good conversation and I was missing some things. It was nice having them pop it back up, but now it's like, all right, I don't need you being a bot in my stream here. Whew. All right, well, I'm gonna dip because everybody seems to be gone now, and I'm really tired, anyways. So come back next week. We'll have hopefully have some great conversation. We'll have more preseason football to talk about, and yeah. So have a good week, everybody.